Hey Brickmaniacs, welcome back to a special edition of the Sit Rep. We've been doing a whole bunch of stuff for Project Ukraine, so I got Landon joining me because we got a bunch of minifigures to talk through. But a real quick update first. So tomorrow is the Ukrainian Drop Wednesday along with our digital instructions. We are going to be releasing this Reaper minifigure as well as a Frontline President restock. However, the BTR4 pre-order is going to be on Friday because we need a little bit more time to get that model wrapped up and finished. So that is going to be the drop tomorrow along with the digital instructions, BTR coming in on Friday. Also, very excited to announce that we have officially cracked the $16,000 mark. That's not just donations raised, that's actually donations that have been sent off and are already over there doing good. So props to you guys, props to the community. Thanks for helping out on this. Really cool to see just pretty much all of the AFOLs come out of the woodwork to support this endeavor.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nothing before, so excited to see where this goes.
Yes, very, very cool. And of course, I know you guys are all excited to dive into the figures, so let's get a little preview of what's coming to brickmania.com tomorrow morning. All right, so this is the trio of minifigures from Project Ukraine we have yet to cover. Like I said, Ukrainian Reaper new tomorrow, Frontline President restocking tomorrow, St. Javelin sold out instantly, but we haven't been able to take a look at it yet here on the Sit Rep, so we wanted to be able to do that. So Landon, which one do you want to start with?
Javelin. Let's start with Javelin.
Okay,
right
cool.
It's kind of cool to get to go back and do these review videos, even after the fact it's sold out.
And we'll make some more, hopefully.
Right. Oh man, where do we even begin? So this kind of all started with a build by, what's the name of the designer for that?
Greg Nation.
Greg Nation. That's on Instagram. You can find him for this awesome Javelin missile system here. We kind of took it up. We took that build and
printed on it.
Yeah, kind of another level. A little bit of a later addition. I guess just like all these figures, everything just sort of came together very fast. But there's some cool additions on this Javelin missile system. But we will get to that in a second. Let's go over the figure first. So the figure is it's been going around the internet, St. Javelin.
And St. Enlaw, right?
There's a couple. But they're all derived from like historical sources. So this is some sort of like Orthodox looking saint here. We have this halo, custom 3D printed parts with the halo and the what's the head covering?
The hood. The hood. Kind of tough to say. I agree.
The hood, yeah. And then again, in that kind of Orthodox colorways, these are really vibrant colors. I'm kind of a nerd for this old school like etchings and mosaics, so this was kind of interesting to see.
You can see Drew kind of working some of his magic from the Roman stuff too.
Exactly. You go back to
Constantinople. He was the guy behind
Roman or Constantinople stuff. It's an interesting art style, and he's definitely riffing on that. And then there's like in real life now, there's some like playing cards available that this is kind of like inspired by as well. So there's lots of different sources that this is all inspired by. So we're running with that, and we're adding the addition of this awesome Javelin system here. I think it's some sort of like laser designator or some more optics that we printed on the front of that 1x1 tile or 1x1 plate there. So that's always cool seeing printing on the side of plates. It's one of the harder challenges. You got some warning labels or some manufacturing labels and a handle that we also printed on there. So
love that handle.
It brings it up to pretty much the most detailed Lego form of the Javelin missile system.
It's like a perfect caliber brick-built Javelin. That's awesome.
Yes. Of course, so just a side note, there's full detailed printed instructions.
That's a good point.
Nice, cool little thing to add on to that.
You will not have to guess or just try to build it off of the cover. Right. We have been able to figure out that little booklet.
Here, let's get this set up again.
Which is awesome.
It poses nice. It's got the look.
And so unique.
Okay, I'll set that aside.
It's crazy. It's something way outside the wheelhouse of what would normally have been produced.
Do Frontline President next?
Yeah, let's do that. So this one's restocking tomorrow. Still a fairly limited batch of them, and obviously the first ones went real quick.
Yes.
But it's really cool to see that, what do you call it, earless?
So this is a brand new 3D printed like fast helmet. We have a little bit of the Velcro on top. You can see that. It's simulated, obviously. We're not quite there yet with our some 3D printed Velcro, not yet. Then you have that multicam pattern printed on it. Yeah, no earphones on that, just straight up the helmet in its basic configuration there.
Well, and he's really started to make that gray sweater plate carrier
right.
combo as kind of like his iconic infield look.
Yes.
Which obviously, when your minifigure is titled Frontline President, you're going for the look of him being out on the front line.
Yeah, we have our 360 head as usual for these fast helmets. Kind of some new artwork on that, bringing it into the more modern or our latest sort of style here. It's nice how that wraps around. Obviously, 360.
Check out the post-invasion stubble.
Post-invasion stubble, right? He's seen some stuff, I bet. Yeah, and like you were saying, this iconic gray suit. It's a nice urban, frontline kind of camouflage. It's,
right. It's functional.
Urban, it's forested areas, it's muddy areas. It's a very all over the place, subdued camouflage configuration. Not even necessarily camouflage. Like when you're in an urban environment, camouflage is kind of a mixed bag.
Well, and he's probably also trying to not take equipment out of the hands of other people who might need to go use it as well.
I think they're
he's using what he's got.
Yeah, what he's got. You're seeing this a lot more on special forces. Just this gray. I believe the jacket is, if I remember correctly, probably close to Ranger green, and the pants are wolf gray. If you want to get into like the technical.
There you have
There's like
it.
a billion different like tones and shades of green and gray. So it looked like he had a two-tone thing going on there.
Remind me to never paint a room with you.
I can't see any other color. It's just purely grays or olives now. That's the only two tones that I can see anymore. Some nice combat boots there. More so like hiking kind of boots, which is sort of typical of more of a special forces configuration.
Sure.
Speaking of which, this is a nice, simple outfit. If you want to customize this is a great base to start from.
Sure.
Add your own plate carrier. You can kind of mix and match the torso to the legs. I try to keep the torso and legs as separate as I can for the artwork, so you're not splitting ammo pouches or vests in half.
Nice.
Whenever I can. It's not always going to happen, but in this instance, this would be a nice jacket or pants for whatever sort of special forces minifigure.
Bit spendy for a parts pack, but yeah, I hear you.
Well, once you got it, you can keep mixing and matching.
That's true.
So, moving on to the Reaper. Or you want anything else to go over with Frontline President?
No, it's all good.
Cool.
You're rolling right along, man. This is perfect. So this is the new figure dropping tomorrow. The Ukrainian Reaper, kind of along the same lines as the Ghost of Kiev, and in the urban legends that have spawned since the beginning of the invasion. I believe the last I looked at this, he had a body count of like 20 and counting.
Yeah, there's a lot of hearsay. There's a lot of speculation.
It's all over the place.
Right. But I think this is capturing sort of the mythos of it all, and what do these special forces soldiers on the front lines, what are they decked out with? What do they look like?
Exactly.
I'm seeing a lot of plate carriers that are, just like on the previous Frontline President, a lot of plate carriers that are either like a civilian kind of purchase or available on the general market. Ukraine does have their own locally produced variants. I couldn't quite tell if this was one of those or not, but again, it's another one of those standard plate carriers that would be pretty versatile in whatever you're using. But I do have it decked out in some cool stuff. So what's interesting about these Ukrainian special forces would be the weapons that they're using. So they have access to both NATO stuff. They're contracting with Israeli stuff. They are
picking up Russian stuff, obviously.
Using Russian stuff. So their ammunition is all over the place. So I have this guy with more of like an AK-74 magazines, but you could probably have any other like M4 platform even that would be a decent approximation as well. Then what else we got here? There's a whole bunch of stuff on this guy. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, well, he looks excellent.
We have that riff on the skull. It's the kind of the Lego skull that's been
Punisherized,
I guess. We've snuck that in here and there. You have a little tactical flashlight. You got a push-to-talk radio system. Brand new artwork is that 1-point harness that wraps around and it lets them, hook their whatever rifle they're carrying up to that little kind of carabiner-like quick-release clip there. So that's just like detached. He doesn't have a rifle in his hands at the moment. The AK-74 bayonet tucked in behind there. It's got that nice, beautiful orange
Yeah, I
bakelite.
was wondering what that was. That's cool.
Which is like, that orange bakelite is like, I don't know, it's awesome. It's a cool material. It's so just iconic of like Soviet gear. So again, it's just interesting seeing this mashup of equipment here. I'll say that one for a second. Radio on the side, just a standard civilian purchased walkie-talkie kind of system that we're seeing deployed. They're using, again, whatever they can get a hold of. Combat pants, going down to some combat boots, which are locally produced in Ukraine. They have their own manufacturing of their soldiers' boots.
Sure.
That, again, you'll see it mixed in with regular other combat boots or civilian purchase stuff. Moving around on the side, I'd say kind of the best for the last year. Glock on the side.
Nice.
In the holster, and then there is a bag of sunflower seeds.
There you have
Because
it.
why not? Gotta have a bag of sunflower
Gotta have
seeds.
snacks. Yeah, right.
Gotta have
Especially when you're
snacks.
going to be out there for a while.
Bag of sunflower seeds. Finishing it up, got a fast helmet, fully printed with the headphones on the side and the multicam pattern. Full 360 face. They keep their face kind of covered up just for operational security and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, this is one of our fastest turnarounds on a release of minifigures like this. So.
No kidding. Yeah, it has been absolutely breakneck pace here. And the results have been awesome. So there you have the Ukrainian Reaper dropping tomorrow, 8 a.m., along with the restock of the Frontline President. And stay tuned for more on the restock of St. Javelin. So, Project Ukraine, obviously this endeavor started because we wanted to use the power of bricks to raise some capital to get money to the people who needed it. However, did you ever think that you would be working on stuff for a conflict that is currently happening?
Yeah, it's pretty unreal. And I don't know if this just hasn't happened before. Like we're seeing history kind of unfold in real time, especially with social media, especially with both forces like have access to media and like cell phones, footage, and internet. It's just kind of unlike anything we're seeing, just footage in real time. So yeah, I think it's been really important to capture this history like as quick as possible and try to do it as much justice as we can. So obviously St. Javelin's a little bit outside of the wheelhouse, but that is kind of, again, that also captures the maybe pop culture of the era, or what's going on and what people are talking about. So it's definitely been a project unlike any other. So
it's pretty crazy to see how it all comes together. And not to mention the fact that, so we were talking a little bit off camera before this about how, one of the things that's interesting about like Vietnam Month and some of those conflicts is dealing with all of the mishmash of all the gear. But at least then, usually you're dealing with just different eras of United States gear. The Ukrainians are wearing an international mix of stuff from all over the world. And so it's like when it comes to researching, making stuff, kind of happen of what they're actually wearing over there, I mean, it's like your source imagery is what you have, and outside of that, it's anyone's guess.
Right, it's definitely been, I guess, Vietnam was kind of a similar comparison. You'd see a little bit of forces using each other's gear, but then you're kind of limited, it didn't seem, that's a conflict that spans many, many years. And so there are some comparisons, but this one, it's definitely, this is more of a modern conflict. But yeah, we're seeing input from gear and weaponry from like all over the world. We talked about like obviously NATO gear, Soviet gear, seeing Ukraine has like licenses with like Israeli manufacturers for their weapons. So it's just like, when I was starting to do the research, I was like, oh wait, whose gear is all? It's everybody. It's totally a melting pot. So it's kind of like, oh, no wonder there's like tension going on here, because if you look at their gear, this seems like it's, and they have their own locally produced stuff. Like they want to be their own nation in terms of their own internal production. So it is really just interesting seeing this unfold, and even though it's just like in Lego scale, having to do this research, but making those connections is unlike anything. So
well, and then like we keep saying, seeing it happen in real time and knowing that this stuff isn't 20 years removed from when you're researching it. So yeah, definitely a crazy endeavor, and we thank you guys for hanging with us through it. If you've been paying attention to our social media over this, kind of the pace that we've been moving and the way we've just kind of been kicking stuff out and trying to let you guys know pretty much as soon as we know when things are going to hit, where it's going to drop, how many there's going to be when we're able to do that kind of stuff. So thanks for your support, thanks for staying tuned in on all that kind of stuff, and we'll continue to do our best to keep you guys looped in, because I think it's pretty safe to say right now that we're not really sure where this is going to keep going.
Who knows?
So you'll find out when we do, just like that. So That'll do it for a special Tuesday sit rep, I suppose. Thank you very much for watching.